So I'm leaving Jaipur today. And I developed a little bit of a head cold. But this city is crazy, and I could not find my bus to Bundi, my next stop. I wound up on a chicken bus, chicken and goat bus, I call them. It's a 4-hour drive, but I'm just happy to be making forward progress, but it was crazy. So this little town of Bundi is surprisingly clean and tidy. I mean, there's still like huge piles of cow poop you have to watch out for, but otherwise it's very tidy in most places. Unlike Jaipur, which was a hot mess of garbage. And I'm really enjoying like all of these like little alleyways with these amazing like doors and art embedded in the buildings. You can tell that this is a very old town. So I just love just wandering around. Of course, like I'm one of maybe like 3 foreigners here, but that's okay. Everybody is really, really friendly. So I'm just sitting on this rooftop having breakfast, and it is the most fabulous view of the fort. Let me show you what that is. It's really magnificent. And I think I'm gonna finally bite the bullet and go climb up it and see what's there, mainly because I feel better today, finally, so I don't feel quite as sluggish. So I finally made it up the hill to the fort/palace, and unlike a lot of monuments in India, this one is empty. It's still worth wandering around through.
This one?
Yes, that one.
₹800. Oh, there I found it. Like bells.
Bells I can find at home.
Cow.
Cow I cannot find at home.
No, this is just bells. Whenever you.
No, I know, but bells,
like you
I can find those in America.
America.
This
Okay.
I cannot find in America.
Which is a very reasonable. No, I told you we giving the selling price because in this time no business.
How do you open this again?
Push the button downside. No.
Down?
Give me. Yeah, this one. Push this one.
Yeah.
Push and then open.
And what did you put? What do you put in these?
No. They put inside the leaf of the pan.
Yeah.
The beetle, green leaf. And here the spices.
Spices.
Yes, spices.
Yeah. But that's what this was for spices?
No, it's a betel nut. It's betel
Oh,
nut.
for betel nut.
Betel nut.
Yeah.
Steaming. You know the red color.
So I've arrived in Udaipur. It is considered the city of lakes in India. And although I have booked a budget hotel, I did ask for a lake view room. And so I have this great big balcony and it just overlooks all of the town. Well, not the town, but the lake and part of the town. And again, it is a budget hotel, but it's clean, it's big, it's got a big bed, and that's all that really matters. And I'm really excited about this particular city because coming into the hotel, I saw so many little boutiques and shops and restaurants and more Westerners here than I have seen anywhere else in India, including Delhi. It's also got tons of cafes and tons of restaurants, which was a little difficult to find, like in Bundi. To see these stairs, they are crazy. They are like so steep and narrow. This is what it's like to stay like in an old historic building here. But I just keep thinking like the people of that time must have been really tall. God, if you don't watch out, you get run over. But look at these. Aren't these amazing? God, I really like that one. And that one's cool too. This one's kind of cool. Look at this. There's another antique store. There's one of those cars I just bought. Oh, wow. I think this little town may be trouble for me because I keep seeing things I would love to buy, but my suitcase is so full. I bought that tin car and I don't even know how I'm gonna make room for that. So now I'm just looking for a little cafe to have a bite to eat, read my book, enjoy the ambiance. Oh my gosh, I am so tempted. There's like so much stuff in here that, like this. I don't know, I just find it so cool. Look at her. I love these old pictures. That one's got all this like...
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm seeing all your beautiful art in here.
This is the old paintings.
Yes. It's very cool. I'm off to have some breakfast. I saw this rooftop cafe and there's a ton of people there, so I'm hoping to find it. It's a beautiful morning this morning in Udaipur. I'm not quite sure where I'm at, but I'm not that concerned because this is a little peninsula and eventually I'll get to the tip of it. So I made it to the city palace in a very roundabout way. I went all the way around and here I am. So I'm going to trek up there and see what there is to see. So I'm at this lakeside restaurant and then there's this really beautiful hotel behind it. And I have to say, it's like way more mellow at this end of the peninsula. I mean, it's so quiet and peaceful. Where I'm at, there is nothing but non-stop chanting, like from all sides, because there's multiple temples where I'm at, and my gosh, it just starts at these weird hours and goes on through the night into the early morning. It is just like crazy, and mostly I block it out, but when they start like banging their drums, and the bad thing about it is when they're singing, they're totally off key. So anyways, I'm just amazed at this end. It's like so quiet. You don't hear any honking. You don't hear any chanting or drum banging. It's just totally peaceful the way I like it. So I've arrived at my next destination, Pushkar. It is located in the Thar desert, except it does not look like a desert here to me. It looks very tropical actually. And I wanted to come here because they're having a camel festival. And so I was really intrigued by that. I had to tie my shoe. Anyways, I'm heading to town for my hotel, and I'm out in the country, but there's so much construction going on. There's all these little hotels and homestays being built. This is obviously also a big wedding destination. And Pushkar is a trip. It is really kind of a mix between this very, very spiritual town. I get just extremely spiritual vibes in the downtown area, but it's also full of, I call them neo baby hippies. So, you know, lots of dreadlocks and Birkenstocks, flip-flops, just this like totally laid back hippie vibe. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of yoga centers here, and I decided after practicing for over a year that I don't like yoga. It's just, to me, a lot of holding difficult poses. It never got easier, but I am a big meditator, and so I'm gonna look to see, there's lots of yoga centers, and some of the yoga centers have meditation as well. So I'm gonna see if I can find one. It's kind of a cool hotel. I'm gonna find one and see if they have any meditation classes going on. So I would love to do some meditation. I'm out in the country, so in between all of the hotels are these little farms. Feels really good to kind of be away from the center of town. And town is really not even that far away, maybe like half a mile. I've definitely walked less here than I have in, like, say, France. Mostly because there's rickshaws and tuk-tuks everywhere. So if you don't want to walk, you don't have to. But today is a terrific morning to like walk into town. Plus I want to stop by those yoga places. So this is one of the camel camps. Look, they're just hanging out there. That is so cool. There's so many beautiful things to buy here. I think it's time for me to figure out how to ship some stuff off and load up my suitcase again. Hand-blocked scarf I just got for $4. So pretty. So I also bought, whoa, there's tuk-tuks everywhere. Are you serving? Yeah, okay, cool. So this is the view from the rooftop hotel. It's hard to see because there is like tinsel, a net of tinsel down there. There's the lake. It seems to be a very holy city. And there's lots of men in like orange robes and turbans. Very fascinating. And there's a ton of Westerners. So I decided to bite the bullet and ship some items home because The shopping is so good here. There is some really interesting jewelry, a ton of textiles, clothing. But then I discovered that little stall that sells the painted tin cups, and I actually follow Debbie DIY. She has her own paint line called DIY Paint, and when she showed those tin cups on her YouTube video, I totally fell in love with them, and I was gonna order some back in the States, and they were so expensive. And so I tried to find like a source directly in India, and I didn't have any luck. So today when I was walking through the bazaar and I saw that stall, I just stopped dead in my tracks. And oh my gosh, I just totally fell in love with all the different designs and all the different items that they were painted on. And apparently the owner, he is from Kashmir, which is up by like Nepal, and they're all hand painted there. He actually has that little stall, but he also has a warehouse, and he sells wholesale all over the world. And you know, my store is really little, but apparently people buy hundreds of items from him. So he gave me a wholesale price, well, his wholesale price, and I was really happy with it. So I decided to splurge and stay in a nicer hotel. This hotel is so cool. This is what I imagined like the old Havelis would look like. Just very ancient with lots of intricate detail. So now that it's daytime, I have to show you my room. Look at even the door knocker is so cool. It's an elephant. But look, it's this very ancient building. It's probably like a small fort or castle. It's just so. So there's this really cool cafe. It's called the Stepwell Cafe because it's right by the stepwell, which is absolutely stunning. Wait till you see this. And this cafe comes up in a lot of blogs and vlogs. So I decided I'm gonna go have some chai there, overlooking the stepwell before I head up to the fort. Wow, but look at that. So the hotel group, along with the government, the hotel group, I think it's called Ross, actually cleaned up the stepwell. So it is empty of garbage and debris. And kids come and actually jump from the top of that roof down into the water. That is a high jump, and it's actually full of fish. So it's an early morning in Jodhpur, and I'm heading off on a Jeep safari. So this should be interesting. It's a way to kind of spend the day out of the city. And even though there's been a lot of horn honking, the streets look really quiet this morning. Hardly anybody out. So this is Davi. He's doing the tour today for me. He's going to be showing me around the desert.
They people belong to the Muslim community.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask you about
we
that.
have the Hindu potter, but
Yes.
not in this village now.
Oh, uh-huh.
But these people work in this work since last many of the generations. Before they start, they
Uh-huh. Very old houses, yeah. It's 7:30 in the morning, and I'm getting ready to do a blue city walking tour with the same guide I had yesterday, Davi. I really liked him. He had such a good vibe, and his English is perfect since my Hindi is horrible. So anyways, I'm at the clock tower waiting for him right now. And in India, the wedding season is actually starting, so there's a lot of young couples in all these like Instagram locations taking pictures and videos, and weddings, if you've never heard, are really big deals in India. Like my host in Bundi said that like for his oldest brother's wedding, they had 1,800 people, and I think there was like a total of like 4 kids in his family, and every wedding was like 1,800, 1,500, 1,000, and he's the last one to get married. So anyways, they're big affairs. And of course somebody's walking on them. So I have arrived at my last lodging. It's called the Mandore Guesthouse, and it's outside of Jodhpur proper, the old city. And I chose this because it's set in this absolutely stunning garden. So pretty. And they even have a pool. And apparently the restaurant, they actually do food here, and it's supposed to be really good, and people come from outside to come and eat here. But it is just amazing. And honestly, like 3 days in one place is usually good enough for me. And even though I'm really still in the city of Jodhpur, it feels good to like get out of the downtown area, which is just full of like tuk-tuks and mopeds and motorcycles. So it's my last day in Jodhpur before I head off to Delhi tomorrow to catch my flight back to the US. Anyways, I decided though that I cannot leave India without doing a camel safari. So I'm so glad I did this camel ride out to the country. It is so beautiful here, and what's really interesting is Danny has 4 sons, and the oldest one is so entrepreneurial, and he's also a philanthropist. So since 2017 they built these rustic traditional hut houses. They have beautiful bathrooms though, which is incredible out in the country like this. But he also started a school, and what's really interesting is the kids in the villages don't even actually speak Hindi. They speak Marwar, which is basically an ancient tribe, and so they speak Marwar, so they don't even speak Hindi. And so they're learning Hindi, they're learning English, and they are also, once they have a basic education, they are also learning how to be coders. So they're coding kids. So that's just incredible. So anyways, I need to make sure I give him a good tip because I want the money to go to his school, obviously.